Hey, this message is for my fellas. Look, read the room, please. Please read the room. When it comes to this situation with the WNBA, like, if you got something to say about her, I get it. But right now ain't the time to talk about how much you love her and how much she has gained. This ain't the time, because there is a larger issue at hand. Your sister is being attacked. Your daughter is being attacked. Your cousin is being attacked. Like this ain't the time not to read the room. Read the room. There's a larger issue at play. That girl Angel Reese has been attacked for almost 3 years now. And the optics of you, LeBron James, or you, RG3, saying, LeBron saying, she, great game, da-da-da-da. This ain't the time for that. Watch the game and keep it moving. RG3, this ain't the time for you talking about Angel hating her. This ain't the time. Even though I don't believe it to be true. And even if it is, this ain't the time for that. Y'all need to be careful about what y'all post, what y'all say, because there's a larger issue at hand. You need to read the room. If you putting out stuff about her and you not sticking up for your sister, your niece, your cousin, your daughter, you missing the mark.
So, again, this is one of the reasons why we don't even want women in sports. Because, number one, the people that don't even support it, the people that don't even rock with it the most, the only reason why you see the WNBA as popular as it is, aside from the fact that Caitlin Clark is polarizing, and they disrespected Caitlin Clark by saying her, won't even address her name, won't even say who she is, none of that stuff. One of the reasons why this sport is as popular as it is because you have people like LeBron James that have, for an extended period of time, actually championed the sport and celebrated women as a whole. And for the first time, I actually agree with LeBron James in that he's celebrating it and he's making it about basketball instead of making it about gender and making it about race. Gender and race, but leave it up to black women every single time. We don't talk about that when it comes to athletes, when it comes to the men's sports. It's just a game. Angel Reese herself said it was a good basketball play. Leave it on the floor. But leave it up to y'all to make it about race, and that's the only thing that black women have to talk about is something with regard to gender, race, and politics. And it's always on the wrong side always on the wrong side. It's amazing how when we have this conversation about this, and this woman who I can almost guarantee you that don't watch a lick of basketball, let alone WNBA basketball, they hear the sound bites, they hear the clicks, they probably didn't even see what happened on the basketball court, and they want to hold LeBron James accountable for saying, good game, y'all. Guess what? Controversy sells. Guess what? It being rivalries, which I can't imagine that y'all would understand that because y'all probably don't know anything about marketing, sports, visibility, and all of that, even though y'all want the same visibility as the men, even though y'all keep asking for raises and the WNBA has never been profitable. You finally get one person in Caitlin Clark that not only is good, because let's be clear, she had a triple-double, 20, 10, and 10. Triple-double, 20, 10, and 10. Not only do you have somebody that is now all of the other black athletes are benefiting from in the same way that athletes benefited from Michael Jordan and the visibility of the game, and the athletes today are now the recipients of their greatness, Magic, Bird, and Jordan, Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, and all of them, all of those landmark contracts and the visibility that came from the Jordan era, from the late 80s to the early 90s, from the Showtime Magic Johnson Lakers, and the rivalries that came along with that, and the Bird Magic Celtics versus the Lakers and Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all of them, and James Worthy and all of those guys. And that rivalry, the Pistons and the Bulls, those things cemented the visibility that came with the NBA that largely got them paid. You finally have somebody in Caitlin Clark. And if it just so happened to be a rivalry, which it don't even seem like a rivalry to me, it seemed real one-sided on one side. If you just so happen to have a rivalry that ultimately leads to the women getting paid and more visibility for the WNBA, and then marketing that so that people can look forward to the games and be engaged and want to see it so that ticket sales go up and the ratings on ESPN and all of the platforms that launch women's sports, instead of y'all celebrating the visibility and the rivalry that comes with that, y'all don't know how to lean into a sports only mentality and you want to make it about race. And she talking about your sister, your daughter, all of that. What does that got to do with basketball? See, we don't want that. We don't want that in our spaces. We genuinely don't want that in the sports arena. But the minute that you start having diversity, equity, and inclusion, and you start bringing women into the sports, now this is what you get.
And that's why a lot of women say, I'd rather the bear than the man.
Now it's about relationships. They made sports about relationships.
Because we don't feel protected. If you're going to speak up for anybody, if you're going to say anything about anybody, you need to say it for your niece or your sister, your cousin, your daughter that's being attacked.
What if, before we finish what she's saying, because I'm seeing a lot of white people insert themselves into these conversations now and they're starting to speak up. And in some respects, it's refreshing because it's like, damn, so tired of y'all sitting by while people is continuing to embarrass y'all. And then on the other hand, it's a reality check like, damn, that would be crazy if they had the same level of vitriol for black people openly as black people have for white people openly. And if a white person had got on this platform and said what she's saying right now, what would that look like from the opposite end? Because I was always taught to treat people how you want to be treated. So if all white people, who is still the majority of this country, decided that they wanted to openly talk about the importance of whatever white athlete celebrating Caitlin Clark to make sure that you back your sister, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. And we can't handle it from the other side, but we sure do dish it and take it and can't take it. That would be crazy. Let me show you how racist people are. They're telling major athletes to back their sister because she's black and not because she's right or wrong. Don't support the whole entire organization. Let's make this about race.
The one that looks like you. Because it's bigger than basketball. This situation is bigger than basketball and has been for almost 3 years now. Angel Reese deserves better. She does. So yeah, fellas, please.
That's crazy. Listen, I definitively don't agree. I think that they should leave it on the floor. And sports is the one thing where you can have people come together that have different ideologies, different socioeconomic backgrounds. They can be in different parts of the country, and they could disagree and agree, or come together or be divided against each other. And it's no harm, no foul when they leave the court or when they leave or when they stop watching basketball or football or whatever. We keep making this about race. We keep making this about gender. We keep making this about, hey, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I think that it's the thing that's ruining sports. I think it's ruining America. I think it's ruining our country. And I think it's making us more divided than ever. And that's unfortunate. Always like to link back to the content creator. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. Make sure you join the Patreon. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat.